That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 201 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, Tingus Pingus.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and Popstar.
Oh.
But
Who's
before, you don't know her. But before we do, we got to catch up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And David, would you like to start, or would you like me to start?
I can start it.
All right.
Kansas City Chiefs player offers to cover $1.5 million in stolen chicken wings to free woman.
Huh?
Yeah, so during COVID, some lady stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings, and she got caught, and she's in jail. And so defensive tackle Chris Jones for the Kansas City Chiefs has offered to pay the $1.5 million if she can be released.
Why does he care?
I don't know, man of the people. I think he's a good dude. I'm pretty sure everything I've heard about him, he's a good guy.
Why did she, do they know each other? Why did she even steal the chicken wings in the first place? I think I'm asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, I mean, she's 68. You know, you get to that age and you're just like, fuck it. And you see the boxes of the chicken wings and you take them. But it was through a tweet, which account My Mixtapes with a Z tweeted or X'd, Illinois school worker has been sentenced to 9 years in prison for stealing $1.5 million worth of chicken wings over the years. Oh, so over the years, it wasn't just one big score. But he retweeted, "I'll pay for the wings that she stole to get her free."
Also, I'm kind of calling bullshit on that. There's no way she stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings. Like, no fucking way, right?
Pretty crazy.
Because she's a cafeteria worker, and she's probably like, "Oh, I'll just take a bag home with me."
Yeah.
And now they're like, and they probably found out that she was doing that, and they're like, well, she probably, let's see, if she stole one every day or 3 every day, she probably stole $1.5 million. I'm like, chicken wings aren't that expensive. Because I bet the fucking chicken wings that they're serving children are not even real chicken wings.
No, God, no.
They're wings with a Z, kind of like mixtapes. So do you know that they legally have to there was a company that was selling chicken
Tyson.
wings? Yeah, it was like Tyson or something, and they had to legally make it a Z because these aren't chicken wings. They aren't like the part of the bird that's the wing, and they're like,
well, that's why McDonald's calls them chicken nuggets
instead of what? Chicken tenders?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because tenders are like the longer things. They should call it chicken paste.
Yeah, that green goo.
Good. It's pink goo, but it's good pink goo.
Yeah, I was in my mind. I was thinking pink, and I said, "What did that green?"
Yeah, they come out green.
Yeah, I mean just green goo. When you got goo on the mind, you're thinking green.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
and they got green goo in the tubes.
Yeah, because if it's purple, it's ooze.
Purple's ooze.
Goo is green.
Yeah.
So is discharge.
Okay. I don't think we could top that. Let's just move on. Okay.
Give me a dog.
Son, he's the dog on the fucking pod.
Dog on the lap.
That dog too big to be on your lap.
The dog too big. Oh, there he is.
I wonder if you could hear him smelling. Okay, speaking of son and father, as you guys clearly are, son shot father in the face over argument about his stinky feet, cops say.
Oh, my God.
So
I thought you were about to steal my story, but we have two similar stories. Oh, my God, the dog too big.
That dog.
God, where are you going? Oh, no.
That's.
Oh, no.
I'm getting a camera full of dog ass right now.
He's climbing me. The boy climbing me. Goddamn invisible dogs.
So this guy, Iowa man, here, I want to show you a picture of him. Look at him. That's him right there.
Yeah, he looks like he would shoot someone.
Yeah, well, he didn't mean to, because apparently his grandfather. Oh wait, so this guy's 48. He was arrested for attempted murder and child endangerment when he admitted to shooting his father while a child was in the room, and he said that Carpenter's father, William, told police he got an intense argument about how his son's feet stink, and it escalated to the point where he made a comment about shooting his father, and then went into his bedroom to retrieve a firearm, and walked back in the living room where his father was sitting on a motorized scooter, and continued to yell at his father about guns. And then David told police he pulled the firearm out from behind his back and pointed it at his father's face and accidentally pulled the trigger.
You know he wanted
Two
to.
children under the age of 14. I feel like people who own, I mean, not people who own guns, but I feel like these type of people who own guns are the type to, like, they own the gun because they want to do just this, where it's like, I want to threaten you, not shoot your father in the face. I just mean the point of, like, threatening people. I feel like there's always, like, the guy who's like, I like to buy a gun because if I'm losing an argument, or I'm in like a road rage incident, and you could, like, reach into your glove box and just pull out a gun, not point it at somebody, just pull it out, people will automatically, like, you win the argument or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could also just not have it loaded.
No, I know. That's a good point. Yeah. Yep. Well, you could also not get in an argument with your father about having stinky feet.
Yeah.
Was
it his feet? Wait, was it his feet or his kid's feet?
No, his feet. Also,
personal.
Why grandfather on the scooter in the living room? That's couch territory.
The X Games was on.
Wait, also, I guess the father survived. He was treated for non-life-threatening injuries. I thought he died this entire time. Wow.
Wait, so do we know what type of gun it was?
I'm assuming it was a pistol. It was a bazooka, actually.
Grenade launcher.
No, I think it was just a pistol. Man, Thanksgiving about to be awkward. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be eating turkey on a steel plate. If you know.
How bad do you think? How bad do you think his feet actually stunk?
That must have been bad.
There have been people I've met in my life where they have come in, specifically in college, I remember, came into my house, put their shoes by the door, and I could actually smell their fucking feet from, like, standing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not even, like, physically close to their feet, and I could smell them.
Yeah.
And it's
those goddamn no sock fucks.
No, that's the thing. The guy wore socks, so I'm, like, kind of confused about it. I'm like, is it a genetic thing?
He was dressing up to impress. He was dressing to impress. Put the socks on for you, buddy.
Oh, so he put them on before he came over?
Yeah, he usually doesn't.
I
know who we're talking about.
You don't know who I'm talking about.
I know. I'm just
if you wear no socks in a pair of shoes for one day, you basically ruin those shoes.
Yeah.
Like, certain types of shoes, of course, but, like...
Yeah, I mean, Crocs they're fine.
Yeah, that's fine, but... Fuck. Anyway. Don't shoot your father.
Yeah. Well, or do, because father in Thailand shoots son for publicly criticizing his sister over debt, gets shot back. Who doesn't love a good family shootout in the streets, you know?
So let me get this straight. Father found the son criticizing his sister's debt in the streets.
Yeah.
Is that what they be doing in Thailand? Just criticizing debt?
Yeah.
We'd have a lot of people in the streets here. And the father comes out and he goes, "You can't be doing that, so I'm going to shoot you." And then the son shot back. Anybody dead?
I don't think so. I think they're leg shots.
Oh, they're doing like body punches. You know, like when you body box,
Yeah.
just like just blow the kneecap out. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just like try to miss the femoral, but that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm so glad that people are so bad. I've never shot a gun, but I always thought I would be I'd be a good shot. I'm beginning to think that I might not be a good shot now, because if you're point blank, your father on a scooter or in the street, and you keep missing, I don't know, man. Just it might be a daddy thing, bad daddy thing.
See, I'm a great shot. People call me toe taker Tony because I'm always taking people's toes.
I thought it's because you ate them toes and
I didn't say what I did with them after I shot them off.
you got any of them chicken toes? We can't legally call them toes with an S. We got to call them toes with a Z because they're really made out of Thailand daddy toes. Not
A
chicken.
toe's not a toe once it leaves the foot.
It's not. Then it's a nugget.
It's a little tasty nugget.
Oh. Would you
Little
eat a
Southern
toe?
crunch.
If like you were like had to cannibalize a person, like would you start with the toes?
No.
Because you can't pop it. You can't pop it in your mouth because there's a bone in it. Bone in or boneless toes.
Bone in.
My grandfather
I
had
want to fall off the bone.
My grandfather had boneless toes.
I think my grandma had kneeless bones. Boneless knees.
What?
My grandma had no kneecaps. I don't know.
My grandfather's foot looked like what you know those women in like somewhere in like South America where they shove their foot into a
I think that's
tiny
in China.
shoe. Is it were they feet binding?
Yeah.
And it just becomes like a dolphin nose.
Yeah, it looks like an art installation.
I just wanna spread them out. I'm like, you ever stretch those things out?
Yeah. No, I mean realistically, if we're being real here about cannibalism, in my mind, that paints a scenario where the plane went down. Mm-hmm. By the time we resort to cannibalism, because I am a hunter and a gatherer, I'm going to be eating everything.
I thought you were a hunter or a gatherer.
Oh, I'm both. I know my fruits, my berries, my nuts.
Yeah, your mushrooms.
I know my toes, my thighs, my nuts. But in the scenario that I'm imagining that I have to get to cannibalism,
you don't know your nuts, by the way. I'm pushing back on that one. You probably didn't even know nuts grow underneath the ground. You probably thought they came in a fucking little Ziploc bag full of raisins and M&Ms.
Not all. Say some of them grow on trees, like a hazelnut.
David's ripping the plants out of the ground and goes, "Where the fuck are all the raisins and M&Ms?"
Where I'm trying to go with this is I think in any scenario that you're resorting to cannibalism, those dogs are filthy.
Oh, because if you're hitting in the plane, those are the first to curl back.
The shoes are gone,
But they're also cooked, pre-cooked. They come pre-cooked.
Oh, I mean, if it's a fresh eat, sure, I'd try one. Probably not. I don't think there's that much meat on a toe.
The plane goes down, and like some guy's like burning alive, and he's like, "Help me!" And you like quickly grab him, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, like how heroic!" And you pull him out of the fire, and he's all charred, and you start eating his leg.
I mean, I'm not gonna settle for a well done leg.
Why? You don't like a nice char? It's like burnt ends.
I do like burnt ends.
They're good.
They are good. I guess they're really bad for you, though.
What?
I guess because they're... Well, I didn't know this, but like when you eat burnt food...
Oh, yeah, like carcinogen?
Carcinogens. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole marshmallow thing where it's like people are like, don't burn your marshmallow because it's...
I didn't know that either.
I don't think that... people are like, don't eat the burnt marshmallow, and they go and they drink like a fucking half handle of whiskey. So, I mean, I think we have to choose our battles, but,
yeah.
so that's funny. I got one more right here. Is Disney wants wrongful death lawsuit dismissed because widow uses Disney Plus. This isn't like an
I saw this
insanely
and I didn't really understand what the fuck it was saying.
me neither, and that's why I had to read it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So Disney, this guy went to Disney, is it Orlando, Disney World? Yeah, oh yeah, Disney World right here. He went to, his name is Jeffrey Piccolo, and the widow of Jeffrey Piccolo is suing Disney because he had a fatal allergic reaction shortly after eating at a restaurant at Walt Disney World. I guess he asked the waiter, waitress, like, "Hey, I'm like deathly allergic to this thing. Can you like make sure?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." And they went over it multiple times, and then they served him the food, and I guess, probably walking around the park, he probably had anaphylactic shock and couldn't breathe, and probably suffocated to death, which is horrifying and horrible, and it honestly kind of puts food allergies. First off, if you're that deathly allergic, you have to have an EpiPen. Like, I understand that this is like somebody else's fault for giving you the thing, but if there's one thing I know about restaurants is like, if you like, they don't give a fuck back there. Everybody's like, they're cutting broccoli on the chicken cutting board on the toe,
especially at a place like Disney, like World.
Yeah,
how many
they're
meals
not, like,
they're just like putting out every minute? Like, they don't have time to clean that shit.
Yeah, I couldn't find what he was allergic to also, so I thought that was kind of weird.
Shellfish. I feel like that's like the most lethal one.
Yeah, you're kind of right. But just to get to the point of the story is the widow's like, "Hey, we're suing Disney. You guys inadvertently killed my husband, but you still killed my husband after we like specifically really tried to like avoid this thing, and my husband's dead because of like your workers or whatever." And Disney said that sometime in the past couple of years that the guy who died signed up for a Disney Plus account, and in the Disney Plus account he clicked the box that agreed that you couldn't sue Disney for issues with Disney Plus. No, that's, and then people, and like I guess like the judge and everybody's like, this is like the grossest form of like I don't know what you would call it. Legal. Yeah, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it baffled me because it kind of set a precedent for any company. That's like Apple. That's like somebody fucking like an Apple worker murdering you and being like, Apple can't be legally held responsible for this because you own an iPhone and you click the agree, and we hid something in there that says that you can't sue Apple under any circumstances for anything. And I'm just like,
that's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they thought they could possibly get away with that. I thought Disney lawyers were actually like good, but that's horrific to hear.
I mean, in a sense, like, that's the most like elaborate attempt.
Well, what ended up happening is that they thought this was gonna stay behind closed doors. They thought they were like, legally we have like legal standing to be like, he did click this agreement, and technically it does kind of cover this because you can't sue Disney Incorporated, and that's what we put. But from a humanistic standpoint, like, what?
That's so crazy.
Like, you couldn't even like you couldn't give them like $100,000 because you killed her husband.
They make that in a second.
Like, yeah, it's exactly. I think that's the main issue with all that. It's like, it's gross for Disney because Disney's such a big company. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they own everything.
I know.
They
don't. They
got ESPN.
Except for EpiPens. They got ESPN, no EPI pens.
It's kind of crazy. You'd think they would have like those all over the place at Disneyland.
Well, I actually just saw like not to digress too far, but I saw like a little YouTube story video about some guy that had an allergic reaction on a plane and didn't know he was allergic. Yeah. And he's like, "Do you have a EpiPen?" He's like, "No, I didn't know I had an allergy." And something happened where like this guy, oh, that's what he did. he found medication in someone else's purse for something that, like, he was a doctor and he's like, oh, fuck, I don't know what's going on. And he found medication in someone else's purse that, like, had similar ingredients to an EpiPen. And he basically used that to, like, stabilize the guy as he was having an allergic reaction, like a fatal allergic reaction. And he was able to survive long enough to land the plane and save the guy. And then that guy went to Congress, and now they have EpiPens on, like, 90% of flights because of that situation.
I mean, they should. They're called EpiPens because they're like a permanent marker size, like one of those thick, like, permanent markers. Like, they're not big.
Oh, the pens
They're not
part.
they're not taking up room. Like, they should be on planes.
I think it's one of those things where it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like, we never really thought about it until now, type situation. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there should be, like,
Well, now I'm kind of
that just seems so obvious. But anyway,
now I'm curious how much an EpiPen costs.
oh, ooh. I mean, they
And
should have
then-
multiple EpiPens on a plane.
Sure.
It's
Oh,
always
wow.
I'm gonna guess $150.
Wrong.
Okay, what is it?
Well, it says that they typically come with 2 pens in the package, and they will roughly cost $650 to $700.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know the process of making an EpiPen, but it seems like it shouldn't cost that much.
Okay. And then
I know I felt the same about beef jerky though. What?
Okay, so then they also have about a year expiration date. From the point it's made, it has about a year from its manufacturing date until it expires.
I don't know what an EpiPen really consists of now that I think about it.
Epi.
I'm no doctor, but I'll stab you with a needle if you ask me to.
There's probably something that gives you adrenaline.
Something like that. Pretty crazy though, but like I don't know. It's it's giving me Scarelli vibes where it's like, you know, they're like, oh yeah,
Fuck
I'm
that
jacking up the price of this medication by like 700%. You know, it's like okay, because they made diabetes, like Joe Biden passed that law that's like it made diabetes medication like super cheap or something, like insulin.
Yeah.
They capped insulin or whatever, and I was like, why was this not done like 100 years ago? Like, what the fuck?
Money me, please.
I guess so, but yeah, I guess it's supply and demand where you're like, oh, you're gonna die if you don't get it, then you'll spend more. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, should we get into these stories?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Now, David, I forgot to write an intro paragraph. Why do I keep doing that? But today we are gonna go. I know you mentioned Thailand today.
Mm-hmm.
Where some father-son bonding / shooting / shaming of daughters was happening. But today we're going to travel an island or two over as we go to Malaysia to talk about a very strange happening from the, late 90s concerning a woman who had dreams of becoming a pop star, but ultimately became a martyrer. As today, we cover the story of Mona Frady. So,
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just the reason you don't know her is because the pop star thing just didn't work out. So, born in northern Malaysia in 1956, Nur Masna binti Ismail, later to be known as Mona Frady, was raised in a conservative Muslim household where she was forbidden from partaking in her favorite activity, secular music. More specifically, pop music. That's one of the things I kind of don't... okay, I understand some songs where it's like, sure, you think this is like devil worshiping or whatever. I get it. You're really religious. That's fine. And you might think this is inappropriate, you know, like a little WAP song, or like little Ozzy Osbourne scaring the kids. Oh wait, did you think of the big scary guy? Did you think of the scary guy with the horns? Yeah. And you're like, oh my god, I thought he wrote that song, and now you're scared. Yeah. Well, I grew up. Sorry. Yeah. But I just don't understand certain like lifestyles that are like, you can't listen to secular music. Where it's like, I know,
like Kiss was always one that like I get for its time, and they looked scary, but like you listen to their music and it's like not satanic at all. Like,
no, you could argue like maybe inappropriate, like Love Gun or something like that. We're talking about their penis, but for the most part, it's kind of just like, oh, you know. But like, there's people who are like, you can't listen to NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. I'm just picking safe, you know. Michael Bublé, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He just hasn't met you yet.
See, I didn't know that he did non-Christmas music.
He does that song Home. Remember that song Home?
No.
He's like, another winter day, another summer day.
Sounds like
Paris
a Christmas song.
and Rome, and I want to go home.
He said winter day. It sounds like a Christmas song. Just saying.
Remember that song? He goes, Santa Claus, come on my lap so I could come in your pants and I could come on you. Santa Claus, I'm so horny for Santa Claus. It's a Christmas album. He did do that.
We need some X-rated Christmas music.
Well, you ever seen that that woman who sings? She thinks it's like a normal song, and it's like lick-a-my, suck-a-my. You ever seen that one?
Yeah, of course. We need more of that.
We need more. But it just really baffles me when people are like, "Don't listen to Backstreet, don't listen to the cleanest musician who doesn't swear, or like just because it's not like Christian or Catholic or Muslim music." I'm like, it's stupid in my opinion. But whatever, to each their own. So Mona would go on many years secretly practicing her talent of singing, knowing one day she would achieve her dreams of becoming a world famous pop star, which would all come together in the early 80s. Also, I think it's kind of crazy. Isn't this weird? So there are people who are world famous pop stars, but if you told somebody, if that person who was going to become a world famous pop star told me, I'm going to become a pop star, I'd be like, you're an insane person. Please go get a normal job. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you do live in LA, so you just need to talk to more people.
But that's the thing. There are a lot of people who like I see Instagram and they're like, I'm gonna become like a pop star, and I'm like, that's very
and it's the worst fucking song you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah, of course. But there's also like people who are like make normal music, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well maybe you should not tell people you're gonna be a pop star. You should just keep working hard at your craft, and if you become a pop star, then it just happens. But don't tell people that, because it just comes off as like. It's like me being like, I'm going to land on the moon. And someone's like, that's very nice. One day, maybe, you'll land on the moon. Like,
the one for me is when, like, growing up in Eugene, Oregon, when someone's like, oh, I'm going to become a rapper.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. I will say, though, there's one guy that I grew up with who actually, he makes good music. But like 99% of the times I heard that, it's always like,
yeah.
What are you gonna talk about?
Some jobs are some jobs are too big to say out loud. You can't be like, I'm gonna become president. I'm gonna like astronaut land on the moon. I'm gonna pop star. I'm gonna professional baseball player. I think you just go. Yeah, I like playing baseball, and then if it works out, you're like, hey, look, I'm a professional baseball player. But you can have hopes and dreams and aspirations, just don't say them out loud, because people just think you're crazy.
You got to be smart about it. You got to say, oh yeah, I want to play baseball in college.
Exactly. It's
Get
the
there
steps.
First.
I want to be a congressman, you know?
Yeah. I want to be the town mayor for a little bit.
Yeah, I want to sing karaoke tonight.
There you go.
That's the first step, everyone.
Yeah.
So, In her mid to late 20s, Mona caught the eye of Mohammed Effendi, a sound engineer whom she met as a result of their shared involvement in the music industry. See, Mohammed also wanted to be a pop star, but he was like, music engineer.
Yeah. Hey, every musician needs them, you know?
True.
Not everybody can be a director. Sometimes you gotta be switching the batteries out of the camera.
Exactly. We get it. I like how you picked something that like literally a monkey could do, but sure.
Hey, you still make good money though, and it's fun.
Hell
and
yeah.
The food's good.
Hell yeah. I mean, they do more than switch a battery out, but yeah, I know what you mean. So Mohammed saw potential, but he also saw a wife. As it wasn't long after that Mona and Mohammed became a couple and got married under the guise that he promised to make her an international sensation. That's how I get in most of my relationships. I promise them they're going to be pop stars.
Mm-hmm. Even if that's not what they want to be.
Yeah. They're like, I'm going to medical school. I'm like, oh, it's too bad you wasted all that money because you're going to be a pop star.
I just got an accounting job. No, you didn't.
And I'm like, I wrote you a song, and you're like, you did? Well, let me read it. And it's like, Santa Claus, come sit on my lap.
Stop it.
What?
At least wait until December to be pulling this.
And they go, you sold this to Michael Bublé already. And I'm like, fuck. It's a whole Halo incident all over again between Kelly Clarkson and Beyonce.
You just go sell it to JoJo Siwa. She doesn't care.
She'll buy anything.
You could probably make a dance for her, too.
She's kind of turning into World of Shirts. She's been drinking a lot. Okay, I'm done. So, Mohammed quickly... What?
Don't bring that name into this. I don't want to be associated with that.
So, Mohammed...
The kid needs help. I've officially, I had that turning point when I was just like, all right, this is sad. People need to be helping this guy because he's, gonna die. He's got scabies now.
That's what? I obviously do not keep up on this guy as much as you do.
I don't do it out of oh God. Sam, dog. Fuck.
What the hell is that dog doing?
The dog just came, gave himself a goddamn concussion on the bottom of the table, then scratched me in the face. What are you doing?
He said scabies.
Yeah.
Yum.
But now he's just...
Anyway. Okay, I digress. Let's continue with the story before you go back into scaby talk. So, Mohammed quickly shifted from sound engineer to manager, as they all do, and he began his pilgrimage to launch Mona into the pop star stratosphere, baby. So, shortly afterward, Mosna changed her name to Mona Frady, which I guess is her stage name.
It's better than her original name.
Yeah, her real name was Nur Mosna Binti Ismail. Ismail? Sounds Amish to me, but
see, it almost sounds like a Starbucks size.
Yep. So she changed her name to Mona Frady, and with funds from Mohammed, released a studio album titled Diana. That seems like a very 80s album name to me.
Oh, yeah. People loved Princess Diana.
I guess that was probably during her era, so you're probably right. Yeah. So during her time as a singer, she also made several television appearances, but unfortunately, she was not successful in the music industry or the television industry, forcing the couple to look for other means of income. You know what? That's fine. A pivot is always a solid thing to do as well. It's just as respectable as saying that you're going to be a pop star, you know? Switch it up. Because they pivoted hard, and the pivot pays off sometimes. The problem is sometimes you pivot too many times. And you'll see they pivot too many times. But this first pivot was a good one. So
just like basketball.
It wasn't. Yeah, if you pivot too many times, it's called traveling.
Yeah. Well, you can keep the plant foot down and just keep pivoting, but you're going to look like a jackass, you know?
True. So
we need more basketball on this podcast. Tim Duncan.
Allen
Patrick
Iverson.
Ewing. Patrick Ewing?
The monster that stole Patrick Ewing's powers in Space Jam. The Monstar.
I had a good conversation the other day with our sweet Uncle Jerry, and we were talking about Patrick Ewing, and I said,
You mean
wasn't his
Ewing?
Ewing? Eric.
Eric.
And I said, wasn't his nickname the General? And
I thought that was
Jared
Shaq.
said, no.
I'm
No,
joking because he's on the General commercials.
That makes sense. And so Jared, he Googled Patrick Ewing's nickname and Google.
Can I guess? Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah.
Spider asshole.
No, it wasn't that.
Oh.
Google just said Patrick Ewing's nickname to his close friends was Pat. And we thought that was really funny.
That's really good. You're like expecting like, oh, maybe it's like X-Wing. Maybe it's like the West Wing. Maybe it's like maybe it's Wings with a Z. Maybe it's E-Wings with a Z.
Yeah. It was Pat.
Maybe it's $1.5 million wings. But nope, just Pat. So, like I said, they left the music industry and they're like, we're gonna figure something else out. So it wasn't long after that Mona saw an opportunity to become a Malay shaman and medicine woman, as witchcraft was extremely popular in Malaysia during that time. I was born in the wrong motherfucking era and country.
That's a pivot for sure.
Honestly, is there any job better than being a con person? Con man or woman? Come on.
Yeah, like snake oil salesman.
Oh my God. If somebody like came over to my house and like, there's ghosts in the room right now and they gave me like $1,000, I'd be like, yeah, I could do this. Easy.
Yeah.
I have the demeanor for it. I could do it.
Go shake a rattlesnake's tail, the rattler in there, and like blow some baby powder around and call it good. Because as long as they think it's fine, it's probably fine.
Mm-hmm. I love candles. I love board games like Ouija board. Yeah. I love that.
Rat Trap. That game ruled. You made the little guy dive in the pool.
Mousetrap.
Did
you play a bigger? Did you play a bigger version?
I got launched into the pool. It took up our whole backyard.
I called it Rat Trap. It's where we played Uno and whoever lost had to stick their balls in a rat trap. Stick their pecker in a rat trap. Okay, so where am I? So yeah, she became a shaman and medicine woman because witchcraft was popping. So Mona began offering her services to many wealthy and powerful clients, including high-ranking politicians. Wealthy clients would pay large amounts of money for the couple's services, gaining them mass wealth very quickly, with the two purchasing several mansions and luxury cars. Like, what a pivot!
Yeah,
you gotta go where the
business.
No, they weren't selling luxury cars. They were buying. They were buying luxury cars. David's like half listening, and he's like, "Wow, they become real estate agents and car salesmen." My good God, he's like, "Wow, yeah, I guess being a rat exterminator is a pretty solid job." Malaysia probably has some rats.
Unless you're in King's Landing.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
Cheese. So blood and cheese. So a high-profile client of Fandy's, or Mona, was State Assemblyman Mazlan Idris, who hoped to boost his career with the help of the couple's services. You see, in early 1993, Mazlan approached the couple for help, and Mona claimed that he would be invincible if he wore a specialized necklace, which was to have allegedly belonged to the first president of Indonesia, Sukarno. Maslan agreed to pay 2.5 million chicken wings. No, 2.5 million Malaysian ringgit. If you didn't know what they called money over there, it's called ringgit.
Didn't know.
In the form of, so he's going to pay them 2.5 million in the form of $500,000 up front in like actual, ringgit and cash, and 10 land titles as guaranteed for the remainder. So they get some cash, and then they get like a bunch of land. And honestly, that might be like the move, because
long term.
Yeah, exactly. Land only, appreciates. And they have the mansion, they have the cars. They just need some walking around money. But land,
Yeah.
if you own land, then you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a part of me that thinks that like this assemblyman was like, I don't actually own the land, but like I know where the papers for the land are in the Congress building, and I can go take them. So
deeds are crazy, man. Like, you just need a piece of paper and you own that place. Isn't that insane?
Isn't it crazy that you're born and they're like, here's a piece of paper that like says you're a human?
Everything. Yeah.
I'm like,
we have
really?
Too much trust in paper. Have you ever seen a fire? Have you seen what fire does to paper?
You're telling me that they should have just given me a big chunk of fucking steel.
Yeah.
Like, walk around with even when I graduated college and they're like, here's your diploma. And I was like,
yeah.
I still to this day don't know if my employer can look up whether I went to college or not.
I don't think anybody's ever taken my diploma as like anything.
I mean, do you have to like go to like Harvard or like one of the Ivy Leagues for it to actually count? Because I feel like they just look at my LinkedIn and trust me.
I think you got to be like a doctor or like a lawyer for it to matter. Outside of that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because then they want to know like where you went to school, because that matters.
Shit, my LinkedIn, I think it still says I'm like a scoundrel wizard, or where the fuck we came up with that
Devious
one time.
local wizard.
Yeah, I haven't changed it.
Well, okay, my question is, did Barnum and Bailey's actually give you the paper slip?
Who the fuck is Barnum and Bailey's? Yeah, devious local wizard. If you search LinkedIn and my name, it goes 700 plus profiles, and the first one down says devious local wizard from Hogwarts. And I got 310 people following me on that. What the hell?
Barnum and Bailey's is a circus, David. I'm trying to say that you're at a clown college. You're like Steve-O.
Yeah,
Steve-O.
You go to my LinkedIn, it just says not available. No. It says my employment is not available for 11 years and 9 months.
Off the grid. No, wait. Jesus Christ. Can you inform us what you're up to during this gap in your resume? Potions, newts, potions,
newts, broomsticks,
devious local wizard shit. So I say local though, so I know this town like the back of my hand.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. Crazy.
I killed that kid 2 weeks ago. You didn't hear about me? I'm always getting into something. So okay, let's continue with the story. So Maslan, the Congress person or whatever, councilman or whatever, was reported missing on July 2nd, 1993, after withdrawing almost 300,000 ringgit. So not the full 500,000, but enough, from various banks in Kuala Lumpur. This was also around the same time that Mona was reported to have gone on a shopping spree. We going on a shopping spree. She went on a shopping spree in Kuala Lumpur, where she bought a new Mercedes-Benz and also bought a new cell phone, gold jewelry, sofas, kitchen cabinets.
Hey, those are expensive, man.
True. A TV and a video recorder. All items were paid for in cash. And on July 15, 1993, Mona checked into Tungshin Hospital for plastic surgery on her face, forehead, and nose. She was like, I have to fucking spend this money before they're going to take it from me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what they can't take? The plastic out your face. So
yeah, they can try.
That would be quite a punish.
Where is this? Indonesia? Philippines?
Malaysia.
Yeah.
Malaysia don't fuck around. Some of those East Asian countries, like, do not fuck around. Like,
no.
You get caught with weed and, like,
You're dead.
Yeah, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
There's, like, I think Indonesia, like, you can't know chewing gum, and, like, there's
What?
really crazy laws. Yeah. One of them is, like, you can't have chewing gum because of, like, littering reasons and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy.
Whoa.
So they banned
suck.
chewing gum.
I love gum.
So good thing you're not Indonesian. So David is holding up a pack of extra to prove to me that he loves gum, and he's given a thumbs up. It is wintergreen? What is it?
Look at that.
No.
There's only 2 pieces left. I be chewing gum. Oh, this is polar ice? Are you not familiar?
How polarizing.
Oh, man. I got to put a sweater on when I chew on one of these sugar-free pieces of gum.
I'm
Thank
not.
you, Wrigley's.
Yo, yeah. I like gum too, because, like, Megan left her gum in the car, and then, like, I didn't see her for a week, and she came back and she said, "Where my gum at?" And I said, "Oh, you thought that was going to be here when you came back?"
Who are you talking about?
You don't know her.
No. What type of gum was it?
It was that. It was extra, but the green one.
Liar.
Green extra. Green extra.
This isn't green.
I know. I said it's the green fucking one.
Oh, gross. Wintergreen? I like gum,
Yes.
but I will not touch wintergreen.
Shut the fuck up.
No, sirree.
No one cares what you think, dude. Chew your gum.
Wintergreen
Shut up.
will make me throw up. That's not even a real thing.
You're a juicy fruit guy, huh? You gross piece
Polar
of shit.
ice? Polar ice, that's a real thing.
I bet you like juicy fruit.
For like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
If
You're
they made
big
it last longer, I'd get crazy on some juicy fruit, but...
When's the last time you had a piece of Big Red? Okay, don't actually fucking think. Don't. Okay.
You don't want the
We're
answer.
moving on.
You're afraid of the answer.
No,
wrong?
I don't.
You afraid?
I
You afraid of what you're going to find out?
was it. What is it? Was it 11 years ago? Ever since I chewed Big Red, I haven't been able to work. I'm gonna
Couldn't land my job.
Big Red's like, nope. You click that fucking agreement box. You can't sue us.
Oh, I
Big-
do subscribe to
okay.
Big Red Plus. Fuck.
I'm gonna start a rumor. Big Red makes you unemployed. Don't drink it. I mean, eat it. Fuck, chew it.
Third time's the charm, eh?
I think Big Red's a soda too, though. Isn't it like apple flavored
Code
soda?
Red.
No, it's like manzana flavored soda, dude. Anyway,
Do you ever
So-
have that flaming hot Mountain Dew? Because that was a thing.
shut the fuck up. We have to move on. No, I haven't.
it was a thing. I tried it. It was awful.
Yeah, I think I remember you trying that. Yes, I would never try that. It's a spicy soda. Sounds bad. You confirmed it was bad. Yeah. So the police thought nothing of it since Mona and her husband, after she spent all this money, Mona and her they're like, whatever. Her and her husband have a shit ton of money. They have 2 mansions and they sell luxury cars, as David thinks. But they had tons of money. They had tons of money already. But what set things in motion was when the police picked up Jurami Hassan, the couple's assistant. And on July 13th, 1993, Jurami thought that the police had caught because he was arrested, and he's like, oh, fuck, they caught me. So he began to spill the beans shortly after being questioned, describing everything that took place the night Mazlan went missing. What he didn't know was that he was actually being arrested for what was an unrelated drug consumption charge. But it was already too late and the details were out. So they like arrested him for like smoking weed or like taking some kind of drugs. And he showed up and they're like, hey, we know what you did. And he's like, I'm so fucking sorry I killed that guy. And they're like, yes, continue.
Yeah.
And he's like,
tell us about
he's like, I shouldn't have had all that big red. I've been out of work for so long. So you see, on July 1st, 1993, just a couple days prior, he arrived at their house he arrived at Mazlan, the congressman, arrived at their house, and the ritual began with Mona telling Mazlan to lay on the floor and close his eyes while placing flowers around him. After this, she told him to, quote, watch the money fall from the sky. And her assistant, Jerami Hassan, the guy who was arrested for drug consumption, snuck up on the unsuspecting man and raised an axe above his head before bringing it down and beheading him.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, on July 22nd, 1993, Mazlan's dismembered and partially skinned body was discovered by the Royal Malaysian Police, buried 6 feet deep in a pit covered with cement on a property owned by Mazlan in Penang. His body was dismembered into 18 parts and buried in a hole at the storeroom of an unfinished house. Police also found an altar and statues of deities, as well as knives and an axe at the scene. You see, Mazlan was killed due to the fact that the 10 different land deals that they arranged for payment had collapsed. So I guess he probably didn't fucking own that land. But Mona, Muhammad, and the assistant Jerami still wanted the money. So they fucking killed him. And I mean, they tried to go.
They're not going to get the money, but
Well, they got the $300,000, but I think they actually went and tried to get that land by like falsifying his signatures. So they're like, he was like, I'm not going to give you the land, and they're like, well, we still want it, so let's kill him and just like falsify his signatures, and we'll get the land, and he'll just go missing. So, but they were all arrested. All Mona, Muhammad, and Jerami were all arrested and charged for murder. And throughout the trial, Mona exhibited eccentric behavior, including appearing cheerful, constantly smiling, and posing for press photographers. She dressed extravagantly every day with bright and colorful designs on her dress, and at one point exclaiming, "Looks like I have many fans." So she's like fucking living out her Popstar fantasy.
Boy.
Yeah. So, observers later remarked that Mona had finally received the spotlight she had craved her entire life, with her demeanor more comparable to a celebrity arriving at a movie premiere than a criminal defendant being escorted into court by prison officers. And on February 9th, 1995, all three were found guilty as charged and sentenced to death by hanging for the murder of Mazlan Idris. Speaking to reporters after the sentencing was handed down, Mona stated, "I am happy with the decision and I thank Malaysians," before blowing kisses to a crowd of bystanders. 6 years later, in the early morning hours of November 2nd, 2001, Mona Affandi and Jerami were all hanged at Kajan Prison. A prison official said the trio expressed no remorse at the pre-dawn execution. It was reported that during her execution, Mona uttered the words, "Aku takkan mati," meaning, "I will never die," and was still calm and smiling as the rope was placed over her neck. Her last meal was Kentucky Fried Chicken.
They do love KFC over there.
They do. They be eating at Christmas time and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But pretty creepy. I will never die. And
my biggest question is, do we have any of her music? Like, are there any recordings of it that we could hear?
That's a good question. I mean, she released an album. Let me see. Diana. That's the name of the album. Mona Frady. That's a really good question. Yes. Wait, I'm going to play it. Can you hear it?
I can hear it. I don't know if your mic can hear it, but we'll find out.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe she should have made it.
I'm feeling it. You got the buzzer from Simon Cowell, bitch.
What is she gonna do? Sue us? Play the whole track.
I'm respectfully not doing it, but it sounds like, holy shit, the album cover looks like she's a Street Fighter character.
Yo, that's sick. She got the headband. She's in the bushes.
She's in the bushes. She got the white tank. She's like, Hadouken! Hadouken! That's sick.
She looks more like a Blanca clone, you know?
Oh, wait. There's one comment below from 4 months ago, and it's in a language I don't know, so I'm going to hit translate to English, see what it says. It says, I came from behind the scenes of the stories of Mr. Fair's Ashore's channel. Is it possible that anyone who has these feelings would be killed? Indeed. The world is strange and scary. What the fuck?
So, correct me if I'm wrong.
Wrong.
They killed a guy because he lied and tried to scam them.
He didn't really scam them. That's the problem, is that he still paid them $300,000. I think
with or without the land.
They said that the land deals fell through. I don't know if like these people are like delusional and thought that like he was going to show up with like $500,000 and all of the land deals complete, and he only showed up with $300,000, and they're like, oh, he's not going to pay us, and he was eventually going to pay them, or he possibly showed up and was like, I'm not giving you all that, but here's $300,000, which honestly,
kill him.
God,
I'm on their side. Kill him.
I was about to say,
fucking cut his head off. Throw it in the river. Kill him.
Fair. Well,
take that as a word of warning. You try to cross me and my music producer husband, we're gonna kill you every time. 4 out of 4 times, we're gonna kill you.
And your assistant too, right? Did you say your assistant?
Yeah, my assistant.
Yeah.
My assistant's going to hold you down. My husband, producer, is...
Well, here's the thing. The assistant fucking is the one that hit him with the axe.
Yeah.
God.
So, I mean, he should have gone down.
I want to see that guy showing back up at his house and sitting on the couch, and his like wife or girlfriend being like, hey, how was it? And he's like, I got to get a new job. This assistant shit ain't panning out.
Well, we fucking killed him, honey.
Like, well, guess who had to hide the head? Anyway, so that's the story of Mona Frady, international pop sensation, and you know she still isn't dead because we're talking about her right now. And I just played her beautiful song.
You don't die until someone says your name for the last time.
You know what they say? Real Malaysian pop stars don't die. Real Malaysian pop stars multiply.
Mm-hmm. Who said that? Mariah Carey.
Tupac.
Oh, okay. Yeah, close enough.
I don't know.
All right, Tobin. Oh yeah, I guess before I start, I just want to clear something up on my end. If I don't know if it got picked up on the mic, but if you hear a sound that sounds like Again, that is the
That's
puppy
my
that's
ass.
underneath me. I just don't know how that's coming through the mic, and I don't want there to be confusion. That is the dog, which he does that when he is bored or wants food, and he always wants food.
Cyan-ass dog.
That's my alarm clock every morning. Is getting punched in the face and hearing. All right, Tobin. Today, for us to get where we are going, we got to talk about a classic story of love and passion. So we will start with the classic part of the biblical book of Genesis, Cain and Able.
Whoa.
Now, when you asked me what my one word was, and I said Cain, I have a feeling you were thinking Cane, like a walking cane. But in fact, I was talking about Cain as of Cain and Able. So, Cain and Abel were the first two sons of Adam and Eve. The two who God made to populate the world or whatever. She ate an apple. She was supposed to eat the apple. Which we did talk about. She ate a fruit, which in those times, fruits were just that's just what they called everything. So nowhere do we actually have a fact that it was an apple. It could have been anything.
Wait, everything was called a fruit back then?
Yeah. I talked about this like 60 podcast episodes ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a real quick question, though.
Uh-huh.
Do you think, like, the Cain and Abel thing happened because God was like, I made your parents, and they had you two boys, and they're like, now what? And they're like, fuck.
I'm going to bring that up. So Cain was the firstborn, and he was a farmer, and his younger brother, Abel, was a shepherd. Talk about bad luck for Adam and Eve. Two sons right out the gate to make that population. So things were a little rough there.
Also, I thought it was Cain and the Undertaker.
No, that's what was that? Like 1983 AC?
Yeah, and I thought like Vince McMahon was God.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh yeah, he's
Boy,
canceled.
we could do an episode about him.
Oh yeah, let's do him next. Okay.
Remember when he dropped the N-word?
No.
Yeah, he said the N-word to Booker T, I think.
I think Booker T said it to America one time.
He definitely called Hulk Hogan the N-word once.
That's what it was.
He said, "I'm coming for you."
That's what he said. That's what he said.
And he immediately, was like,
catches
fuck.
it. Yeah, he's like, oh. So funny. Anyway, sorry, we digress. So Booker T and Hulk Hogan are farming in a field, right?
Yes.
Okay.
How far did I just scroll? What the hell? Sometimes this mouse gets a little
Rat.
lumpity. This rat over here. There we are. But yeah, so we're all children of incest. Debate me. Cain, the firstborn, was a farmer, and his younger brother was a shepherd. Oh wait, man, I'm jumping all over the goddamn place. What's happening here? Get over it. So I also think it's funny that like the first two born had like jobs like farmer and shepherd, because it's like, what? Come on.
You're like, who are you trying to impress?
Yeah. Well,
I'd be playing
I was
video
thinking
games.
I was thinking about banking. No,
I think about being homeless.
there's four of us. So I would assume everyone knows this story, but we're gonna go over it anyways. Which I wrote that before I actually went over it, and there were a few things I did not know about this story. So directly from the book of Genesis, it reads, "Now the man knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have produced a man with the help of the Lord. Next she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain was a tiller of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought the Lord an offering of his fruit of the ground." And so, like I was saying, like back then, everything, they just called it a fruit. So like that could have been
fruit.
It could have been a potato fruit,
Or like
could have been a garlic fruit,
cabbage fruit.
cabbage fruit.
Eggplant, not fruit, breakfast.
Yes.
Because the egg.
I mean, I don't. Yeah.
But breakfast fruit.
And Abel, for his part, brought of the firstling. Wait, I missed this part. Cain brought the Lord an offering of fruit from the ground. Okay, I did say that. And
What
Abel,
the fuck are you doing, man? Are you?
I don't know. This like earlier I think my Firefox is fucking with me because earlier it was not opening things. I feel like update this
I feel
fucker.
like you're trying to like navigate an Excel chart and it's doing that thing where it's like scrolling down like 500 fucking cells at a time.
It's fucking with me, man. I think part of the problem too is I typically like I can't read well. That's the most part. No, because I typically I space things out a lot so I don't get lost because I look away from the Word document a lot, and so I just typed this all up. I didn't copy and paste it, even though it basically is, because if I do that. I want to at least type it out so I can have like some memory of it, you know? Like there's no difference between what this says to what I was copying.
It's just
I copied it word for word. I didn't copy and paste it. I typed it.
The only difference is all the spelling errors now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But now I'm lost again because I looked down at the phone.
My God.
Oh no,
dude! Just like I highlight shit when I like before I like leave a sentence, and if I know I want to like start talking about it, I'll highlight where I'm gonna start off again.
I'll try that. No, because usually like I'll break up like I'll even on a sentence I'll do like a double space, so it's like more room for me to find my spot. And this is just like a big old paragraph. Yeah. So Cain. Okay, we're gonna start right here. Cain brought the Lord an offering of fruit. Of the ground. And Abel for his part brought of the firstlings of his flock. So I'm guessing it's like baby birds. Or I guess a flock could be sheep. Back then, I don't know.
Yeah,
they said he did
he brought him baby birds, and he goes, "These aren't fucking wings."
And the Lord had regards for Abel's and his offering, but for Cain and his offering, he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. The Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is lurking at the door. Its desire is for you.
Speak English.
But you must master it." Yeah, do all this old shit. Just say skibbity or something.
What he basically said is, "Why the fuck you so mad, bruh?"
Yeah, you know, why are you salty? Just don't do something stupid. And Cain said, "I'm going to do something stupid." So Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him.
I thought Abel turned around. Looked at him and goes, "What's in your pocket? I just saw you put something in your pocket. What is that?"
Yeah.
Empty out turn your pocket inside out.
Turn him inside out. Turn him out.
Big ass fucking rock.
Okay, it was a rock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Guess they didn't really have like swords and shit. Farming must have been hard with just rocks.
Yeah, all they had was they had one farmer, they had one shepherd, and two parents. There's no blacksmith.
Yeah, what were the parents doing? Fucking?
They're like, "We're trying to give you a wife."
Trying to give you a sister wife. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" He said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" And the Lord said, "What have you done?" Oh, this is still the same quote. What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand.
And then Cain said, I didn't appreciate that you fucking asked where my brother was and you knew he was dead the whole time. What kind of gotcha journalism is this bullshit?
When you till the ground, it will no longer yield to you its strength. You will be a fugitive and wander the earth. Also didn't know fugitive was that old of a word. I wonder what Harrison thinks of that. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Today you have driven me away from the soil, and I shall be hidden from your face. I shall be a fugitive and wanderer on the earth, and anyone who meets me may kill me. Then the Lord said to him,
he said, there ain't nobody else out there, you idiot.
That's a good point.
Just more rocks.
That one really angry deer.
Yeah.
Then the Lord
ass deer.
Then the Lord said to him, not so. Whoever kills Cain will suffer a sevenfold vengeance. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who came upon him would kill him. Then
Wait.
Cain went away. What's up?
2 questions.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
did you just drop an Avenged Sevenfold reference?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's where they get the name for that band.
Whoa. Haven't heard of them in a while, huh?
Are they technically a Christian band that's like weirdly, secretively a Christian band?
I don't think so.
Because I know As I Lay Dying, that early 2000s metal band was actually a Christian band, which people get.
Oh.
And then the lead singer
they did
got arrested for trying to hire a hitman to kill his wife. But, yeah.
That's actually the most biblical shit I've ever heard.
It's true.
But I think they had like a song called like The Beast and the Harlot, so I feel like they have like a lot of like biblical iconography, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, there's a lot of sneaky ones like that. The Killers is a Christian band.
What?
Yeah, all their stuff has to do with the Bible.
Okay.
Like
we'll
Mr.
cover
Brightside is Jesus.
That is not true.
It is. Look it up.
Anyway, wait. What? Why doesn't he want anybody to kill Cain?
So he can suffer.
Ah.
Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, and they built a city and named it Enoch after his son Enoch. Again, this is unofficially copied and pasted. This is read and typed word for word because it's still quoting Genesis. But so now the Genesis bit is done. Basically, the two boys wanted to please their God, and God accepted one, but not the other. The neglected son took it upon himself out of anger and jealousy to kill his brother. God punished Cain by making his one skill and purpose in life turn against him, and then marked his body in an unsaid way that would make him visually noticeable by others as a warning not to kill him. So that's the background for where we're going. All right. Background
did he
set
just
up.
say like? Did he say like you're not allowed to farm anymore? And then Cain was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about going into like marketing or HR. I'm not really sure, but like that's fine."
Yeah, I think he wanted to go into law enforcement.
He's holster your rock. He's unrocked.
Dude, let me see your hands. I just want to make sure you're not reaching for a rock, you know?
I'm literally picturing like a man in full modern day policeman garb, but instead of guns, they have rock holsters.
Yeah. Just a big old satchel.
Just one big rock.
Yeah.
No, it still looks like a gun holder. Like it still has
Uh-huh.
the clip, but it's just like rock shaped.
Yeah. No,
It almost
I immediately got. You don't have to keep going to the.
no.
detail.
It kind of looks like the handcuff holder, but for a bigger rock.
Yeah. But the handcuffs were also rocks. They just bash your
That's
hands
true.
together. Yeah.
They put your hands on the ground and they smash them with a rock and they go, "You're not going anywhere."
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna fight back.
I'd like to see you try to grab a rock with that fucking meat pile. I'm gonna eat those.
Beef.
I'm gonna eat those fingers, fucker.
You're not
First
using
your
this,
toes,
eh?
then your fingers.
Roll into a little ball.
Boneless
Put on that hot
fingers.
stone. Okay, so the background is done and set up. So let's get into the real story here. Bigfoot.
Okay. What?
People always ask, where is Bigfoot? But no one ever asks, who is Bigfoot?
Oh my God.
Well, according to some who belong to the Mormon church, we know who Bigfoot is. So the Church of Mormon does not have an official statement on this, but it is widely believed by many of the members that when God cursed Cain, Cain was transformed into Bigfoot.
Whoa.
And so he was turned into Bigfoot to live out his life in suffering and hiding. Endlessly.
I mean, do you think that Cain the wrestler knows that? Because I thought Cain the wrestler was him.
He could be. Maybe he just goes into like a little blowtorch area that gets all of his hair off for the night, and it grows back in the morning.
Smart. No, that would be smart. It's like House of the Dragon. When we got that guy. We got Alan shaving his head so he doesn't know he's a Valerian. We got Cain over here shaving. Yeah, he's shaving himself so nobody thinks he's Bigfoot. He's the last person. I mean, he's big and he's got feet, but and he's got a big foot. But people are like, oh, you know what? He's got no hair, so I'm not thinking anything of it.
Just imagine Cain with hair.
And then he goes down to Mexico, and that's why they have those sometimes those Mexican children where they have hair all over their face and they're werewolf boys.
Yeah, those
are
of
his
God.
bastard children. Yeah, they're marked.
They got the hair, but not the height.
Well, yeah, because the wife, it's they're half Bigfoot, not full.
The
Bigfoot.
hair is recessive. The height is not.
Exactly. This guy gets it.
Yeah, I get it. So the main source that usually is used to back up the idea is the reminiscence of Abraham Smoot, where a story from this part gets really confusing. There's a lot of names thrown in here, and it's kind of like word of mouth between a bunch of people. But so there was a story from one of the church's original apostles, David W. Patton. Patton claimed that in 1835 he encountered Cain walking along the side of the road. Patton wrote, "He walked along beside me for about 2 miles. His head was about even with my shoulders as I sat in my saddle. He wore no clothing but was covered with hair. His skin was very dark." So Patton was riding a horse, and Cain was nearly as tall as he was while he was on his feet.
Damn.
And he was on a horse.
Where were they?
It didn't say where they were.
Oh.
And I think I have the full quote in a little bit that might go into that. And so, yeah, he was as tall as he was basically when he was walking, and the other guy was on his horse, and he was covered in hair head to toe with dark skin under the fur. Sounds like Bigfoot to me.
Hey. How do you know?
Just saying.
Well, he said he was walking next to Cain, but he never confirmed if it was Cain or Bigfoot or both.
So this story clearly predates the official discovery of the idea of Bigfoot.
How do you know he was Cain?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
So there is some substance here. The Smoot Patton's story was also quoted in Spencer W. Kimball's book, The Miracle of Forgiveness. In the 1980s, there was a Bigfoot sighting in South Weber, Utah, and many members of the church used this story to make sense of the sighting, which isn't surprising due to the significance that Utah plays in the Mormon church. So, in The Miracle of Forgiveness by prophet Spencer W. Kimball, it says, on the sad character Cain, an interesting story comes to us from Lycurgus A. Wilson, which I'm guessing that was... I think that's just another fucking name getting thrown in here. Lycurgus. We all know Lycurgus. Story comes to us from Lycurgus A.
That
Wilson's
might be
book.
Bigfoot's real name.
Yes. So Lycurgus A. Wilson's book on the life of David W. Patton. From the book I quote an extract from a letter by Abraham O. Smoot,
Oh my
giving
God.
his recollection of David Patton's account of meeting a very remarkable person who had represented himself as being Cain. This was I was writing this. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You could have literally wrote one person's name, like, this is what this person saw, and I would have totally believed you. And these people are lucky you even said their name.
All over the goddamn place.
Smoot bitch.
I'm sorry, but if you see like Lycurgus and you don't put that in your story, then buddy, you gotta retire. You gotta
Honestly,
have that
true.
name in there.
Fair enough.
So this is the quote. This is the official quote from the letter of that guy who wrote it to this guy who put it in this thing, and then this guy put it in this thing.
Excerpt.
Yes. As I was riding along the road on my horse, I suddenly noticed a very strange personage walking beside me. His head was about even with me as I sat in my saddle. He wore no clothing, but he was covered with hair. His skin was very dark. I asked him where he dwelt, and he replied that he had no home, that he was a wanderer in the earth, and traveled to and fro. He said he was a very miserable creature, that he had earnestly sought death during his sojourn upon the earth, but that he could not die. And it was his mission to destroy the souls of men.
Okay, motherfucker just trauma dumped on this guy. He's like, hey, buddy, where you
Basically.
from? And he's like, I am here to kill everyone. I cannot die. And you're like, okay, bud.
So, yeah.
No
they
more
talk about-
Miller Lite for this guy.
They talk about that he was Cain and he was, cursed by God for killing his brother. And now he's wanting
like
to
a personal
destroy
problem.
the souls. A personal problem for sure. But now he wants to destroy the souls of men. About the time he expressed himself thus, I rebuked him in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by virtue of the holy priesthood, and commanded him to go hence, and he immediately departed out of my sight.
He's like, I rebuke you. You shall no longer be allowed to walk. And he's like, dude, I'm done. Fucking get away from me.
Yeah, he's like, all right.
He's
you
like,
crazy asshole.
He's like, it's literally two crazy assholes talking to each other. They're just different kinds of crazy, and they both thought they got the one up on the other. The guy's like, some guy came up and asked where I was from, and I told him that I don't have a home and I'm here to destroy the souls of man. And then they cut to the guy on the horse, and he's like, I told this demon off, and he walked away off into the woods to die a painful death. And some guy on the sidelines was watching both of them. He's like, I just saw two crazy guys fight over the edge of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It kind of reminds me of that TikTok account I sent you of the guy that just films those two old guys at the bar, like talking shit to each other across from like the circle-shaped bar.
Yeah.
So obviously this raises a new theory. As someone who is not religious myself, I find it fun. And, I think it's better than the whole, like, the devil put dinosaur bones in the earth to test your love of God. To say, like, hey, yeah, Bigfoot was just like a curse that God did to a bad boy.
That actually makes sense to me. Like, putting dinosaur bones, I was like, God, how much work is that? It's easy to curse one man and be like, hey, bud, you got to walk around America for the rest of your life. I know you're from Israel area, but
yeah.
But
we're not
here,
gonna talk about. Yeah, it's
we're gonna put you in Utah.
But it
Beautiful,
also
though.
makes me think of the possibility that there really is only like one Bigfoot wandering the earth, unable to die, which would explain why he's so hard to find.
Yeah, the theory does make sense. Like, if you actually think about it. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of like fantasticalness to it, but like it checks out. It does. Like the prefacing of that story. Yeah, you're like, oh, that actually makes sense.
It's fun. So what do you think? Is Bigfoot Cain? Is he a branch of the humans who evolved in the opposite direction, or is he just a beast of his own origin?
No, I like to think that he actually is Cain, and like his marking is that he put a bunch of fucking hair on him. Is that what? Did they say what his marking was? And like God marked him?
Yeah, it just said God marked him, so it didn't specify what he did to mark him. Man, God had such a better sense of humor back then.
I know. Old Testament God was such a fucking little pest.
Yeah, that Genesis God.
You know what would have been better, though? Because, I mean, I assume Cain killed him with a rock, but, like, I wish that he did something where, like, they're like, Cain grabbed his brother by the hair and yanked so hard it broke his neck, and then they're like, and then he's like, oh, you killed him with his hair, so now you will wear hair for the rest of you know what I mean? And then he turned him into, that would be like a cool, like, tie.
Turned him into like a stone golem.
Yeah, maybe he like picked him up by his hair and spun around and then yeeted him into a cornfield.
Could have.
And that's how he killed his brother. Just yeet to death.
Yeah. One can be yeeted to death.
Clowns do it.
Yeah, they do.
Remember when it swung that kid around? That was sick. Anyway.
That's pretty wild.
Okay, well, I think that's all the stories we have for you today. If you guys want any more information, you go to Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram. You can send anything to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. And on Instagram, you click the link in the bio for merch and whatever the fuck. I don't know what else is going on there. Who gives a shit? Anyway, rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends, blah, 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 boopy. David, you got anything to say? Read the Bible.
Trying to think. Wear sunscreen.
Wear sunscreen. That's always a good one. And don't forget to stay strange.